If you can't sit still for 10 minutes to hear something that could literally change your life, you're not broken. You're just a product of a society addicted to speed, to dopamine, and to distractions. But maybe, just maybe, today you can slow down and actually listen. And today I want to talk to you about the invincible pressure we're all under to keep moving, to keep scrolling, and to keep chasing. You see, sitting still, like really still, could be the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. But right now, it could be the most healing thing you could ever try to move you closer to a place where there is peace and there is clarity and there is sanity for your life, for your work, or for the future you're trying to build. Now, this thought came to me last Tuesday, and being someone who has always tried to pursue a life of meaning outside of what society calls meaning, I went ahead to write a book called Who Sets the Standard? Basically, a way to engineer your life and your future. I've seen this happen over and over again, constantly speaking to people who are creative and talented in their own way, people who really want to leave a mark on the world, but constantly fall into this. It's not a trap, it's just a system that's been created to keep you down and even make you not achieve the things you definitely you desperately and would definitely need to achieve in your life. And as someone who has constantly been in this place, that Tuesday I talked about, I had a long to-do list. I had a half finished video somewhere, and I constantly was checking my phone, and I think I counted about 5 times within a minute trying to refresh an app that I just left a few minutes ago and picking it up over and over again. And that was when I realized that I wasn't tired, I wasn't unmotivated, I was wired, to stay busy, to stay distracted, and to constantly be stimulated. But I found a truth that made me understand what this really was. And is that we've been conditioned to treat stillness as failure. But clarity doesn't come from moving at, let's say, 100 miles per hour. No, it doesn't. It comes from when you pause long enough to hear your own thoughts. And as weird as this might seem, I'm the kind of person that I can't sit still looking at the camera. It feels weird. But I've learned to master this and be able to just do this for a greater good, if I'll put it that way. And one of the reasons why I believe we struggle a lot with stillness is because I feel like we don't want quiet because quiet makes us feel the things we've been trying to avoid or the things we are running away from. Loneliness, insecurity, sometimes doubt. So this makes us stay busy. Every notification, every new message, we scroll, we open tabs, we create, we just engage in something just to run away from that reality that is chasing us or that we're constantly trying to avoid. And this is not bad. But while this might look like progress sometimes, it's just a well decorated way of escape that doesn't really lead to anything. You know, we've trained our brains to crave short bursts of joy instead of deep joy itself. And I don't know how you've come across this video today, but I want you to understand something that anything meaningful like building a brand, growing a business, chasing your dreams, it starts to feel very heavy if you're constantly in this position of wanting to chase the easy and the quick things. You are wired to be like that. But your natural order of function is ordered or is wired to be still, to be in a place of calm and to operate out of peace. I'll put it that way. So a lot of the times the reward you're looking for doesn't come fast enough. And that's okay. That's life. We live in this world and this earth that has taken millions of years to form. And you think about it, what really is the purpose of why I'm chasing all these things I'm chasing? It's not because you get instant reward. It's not because the world starts to recognize you as one magnificent creature or, being. It is just a deep rooted feeling that you don't prioritize well enough. Now, I've realized that there is this loss of depth. We want deep relationships, we want meaningful work, we want lives that feel aligned, but we're living in a world that rewards short attention, a world that rewards quick results, a world that rewards constant noise. And while this might seem like the best way to play it right now, you can't have depth when you're living on the surface. It's impossible. So maybe your anxiety isn't because you're lost. Maybe it's because you've never given yourself the space to hear what your soul is really saying. And that goes a long way if you create that space to feel human, to feel genuine, to feel soulful, to connect with that part of yourself that feels unseen, to slow down. It's so important. I don't know how much I have to stress this. And I remember a time I was completely burnt out. I it wasn't like I was working too much, and I was doing very little reflection. And I had all the tools, I was creating content, but my mind was cluttered. My thoughts were scattered. I couldn't finish a task without switching multiple tabs on my laptop or just picking up my phone. And it was that bad. So I did something simple. I turned off everything and then I sat on the floor. No music, no phone. It was just me. And then I asked myself, what do you really need right now? And thinking about this, the answer that came to me wasn't productivity, it was peace. Like, I realized that the peace won't come from outside, it comes from the decision to stay still, and it comes from within. So, if there's anything you're taking away from this video or from this talk I'm having with you right now, I want you to do this with me if this resonates with you. Take 5 minutes, no, take 15 minutes today. No music, no phone, no tasks. Just sit with yourself and then ask, what have I been running away from? What does my heart really need? And I want you to write it down, not for likes, not for shares, not for views, but for clarity. Yeah, do that. And you'll see something very interesting happen. Something would change. You know, stillness doesn't fix everything. I need to let you know that. But it might show you what is actually wrong, where you got it wrong, and how to retrace your steps. Because to be honest with you, that is where real growth starts from. And just speaking to you, either as a friend, as a brother, or as probably someone you look up to, you are not lazy. I'll say that again. You are not lazy. Neither are you broken. You've just been overstimulated in a world that never lets you breathe. So breathe, be still, give yourself permission to go and feel again. Don't be under pressure. No one is chasing you. Yes, you might have responsibilities, you might have great expectations, but give yourself permission to feel again. If you break down today, possibly someone else will go ahead and do the work you're doing. So it's important to take this seriously. And I'm actually glad that you're here, and I'll see you soon.